As you know, your boy lived in Poland for 6 years, almost 7 years. I really enjoyed my time there. I graduated medical school there. I made a lot of lifelong connections, and I was really happy with my time living in Europe. However, I must say, I did go through my racist experiences living in the country. Wasn't every day, it wasn't every month. It might not have been every single year I was there, but I definitely had some. And I was an American, so I lived more of a protected life. You know, I was in the American program. I lived with other Americans. But it's different when you're African in Poland. Now stop the show. You do get privileges as an American in Poland, for sure. But when you're an African in Poland, you don't. And you find out real quick that they don't want anything to pretty much do with you as a whole. That's just my perspective. Now we're going to talk about this African brother who couldn't get into the club in Poland because he was black. Let's check it out.
Well, this is not a country per se, but it's a town in a country that I'll never go back even if they paid me, right? Which is a town in Poland called Poznan, right? There's a place that I'll never go again because the experience of racism is next level.
It's a very big city, by the way.
The standard racism. Let me tell you the levels. There's covert racism. There's the standard gaslighting racism. There's the overt racism. And there's the Super Saiyan racism, right? So let me explain to you why. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole story, but I went to Poznan with a few mates, white friends and black friends, right? 2 black friends, most of them all white. Went to Poznan, right? Went to a bar, and the guy in the bar straight away pointed at me and my black friend and said, out. He didn't speak in English, but we could translate very well because, when someone points at 2 black people and say out, that means that we're not welcome. So we left. We struggled.
This is exactly what happened to me in Warsaw. In fact, I talked about it on my channel before. Got kicked out of the club in Poland. I was trying to get into the club. It was a hip hop club. Me and my buddy from Ivory Coast were there. You know, we just wanted to see what it was like. At first they said, you need your passports to get into the club. Then they said my friend looked too old. And they gave us every reason that they didn't want us to get into the club. The real reason was we were black and couldn't get into the club. We were both Americans. It just didn't matter, right? So what he's saying is true. I think he might be an African brother that might have lived in London or was born in Europe or born in the UK. I'm not sure.
We struggled to find places that was going to let us in Poznan because they don't want black people in there. So we were struggling. We was walking around, trying to find somewhere to go because they don't like black people in there. Plus, also, obviously, there's the standard thing in, when you go to these racist countries, they look at you weird and all that kind of nonsense, yeah? All that kind of stuff. They look at you weird, they don't want to serve you, all that kind of stuff. That's the standard racism stuff that when you go to these racist countries. But on the way out, when we was finding somewhere, we found an kind of Latino bar, right? And they let us in. So we went to the Latino bar, right? And obviously the owners and the staff were all like mixed race, half Polish, half Spanish, right? The half Polish, half Spanish. So everyone was talking, and obviously I was talking to them about my experience. And look, we trying to struggle to find places here. Obviously, they don't like black people and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, what they told me was the reason why they've created this bar is because they cannot get into places because they are half Spanish, half Polish, half Spanish, half Polish. Now, this shocked me, right? Because they are not black. It's not mixed race as it.
Okay, so it might be different in Poznan. I lived in a city called Lublin when I lived in medical school there. The culture in Lublin, I mean, obviously, you never really saw, you had racist things, but, Warsaw, I don't know about Poznan where it's this extreme. I don't know. I've never heard of this. Even me being as black as I am, I never got denied a club or entry to a club in Lublin when I lived there. But let's continue.
Not mixed race as in half black, half white when they're mixed race. Is half white from another country and half white from another country, right? And I think she looks Polish. I would not have noticed. But the thing about it is, what shocked me is that They don't like it if you are white, a normal white person, Anglo-Saxon whitey white, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go into the sun and you tan darker skin.
So Poland has a really unique history of invasions. So to be fair to them, they typically are weary of all foreigners. When I was living there, the people who got it the most, I'm gonna be honest, it was Arabs. Okay, Arabs and people who look like they could be Muslim. So, but again, Irish people face racism there, and in Poland, it was hard for people from Britain that was there. Blacks, they was trying to give it to everybody equally. To be honest to them, they kind of just didn't like foreigners at all. They did, but they were very leery of people coming into their communities.
Darker skin, they don't like that. They do not like that at all. Yeah, which shocked me. Which absolutely shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
So not only do they not like you if you're black, they don't like you if you look black, if you look darker than the typical white pale person that you see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that there was this level of racism before. Yeah, and to the level where they had to create their own bars, their own spaces. So not even if you're mixed and half Spanish, I'm just using an example because it's a half Spanish bar, but even if you're white and you tan dark, they do not like that at all. You have to be whitey white, as in when you go out in the sun, you turn red, not dark, and that's what they like. So even if you are white and you tan dark, you get discriminated against because you are dark when you get tanned. Now, that is a new level of racism that I have never experienced before. I'm thinking, if you're white, looking at them, and they're white, and they get discriminated against because they tan dark, me, I ain't got no chance. I got to get out of here as soon as possible. So I left, and I'm not planning on coming back again.
And they don't want you to come back. That's the whole point. So I don't know why a lot of the black people in general, and this is not for all whites, but again, you have certain blacks that are just not being realistic and wanting white people to change. When I was in Poland, it was the same thing. They'll let you into the clubs, but then you had, instances of African students being beaten up. That's how I got involved in Africa Day, right? Which is something that I do now here in Uganda. I got involved in Nigerian Independence Day, even as an African American, because that was kind of the only way that I could participate with other blacks. We had to start throwing our own functions and start having our own communities simply because that was your strength. Black people got to understand you got to continue to do that if you're the majority, if you're the minority. Okay? People are not going to want you there in Poland, and I'm going to tell you exactly why they don't. All right? A lot of people. First of all, I did a story of an African brother who took a crap naked in a pool that Polish kids swim in. Now, although the rest of the Africans are not doing that, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to blame all of the Africans for those issues. I've done stories here on the channel where, you have Zimbabweans, out in Poland that did a DUI or drunk driving or something like that. Who do you think gets blamed for that? Everybody that's black in Poland gets blamed for that. African American will get blamed for that. Nigerians will get blamed for that. Everyone will get blamed for that, right? That's how it is, because to you shouldn't be there, and then you're a threat, right? This is what should get everybody that's black. And again, I'm an African American living in Africa, right? But you have to work with your diaspora, and you have to try to work within your community so you don't have to end up going somebody else's place. And I'm going to tell you exactly why that town doesn't want a black guy like this going to their community. Now I want you to see this. You have two black dudes just having a little fun dance with two white ladies. Nothing is happening. Seems like it's just a TikTok dance. It's just a fun thing, right? Nothing is happening. Nobody is kissing anybody, right? And this is typical European Polish style city center kind of vibing thing, right? But I want you to look at the comments of this particular post and let you see what people are saying in the comment section. Now, this guy, white American, is just in theory, right? He's saying this. This is an extremely rare thing to see in Poland. These girls will be hated by the high majority of their male and female white counterparts. Poland is 98% plus white. They are very race loyal and nationalistic. This is very true. White women have the lowest miscegenation rate of any demographic. I don't even know what that word means. Okay, now look at Intrepid. Statistically, they'll end up beaten and most likely infected with STDs. The flag guy goes, single motherhood or abortion. Bally, how can ladies be so silly? Washington goes, it's not a happy ending. John B, not good, it never does. Deport them all, close your borders. The other person goes, it depends. Are the Polish leaders going to sell out their country like France, Germany, UK? A1 goes, Poland is gone, Hungary is all that's left. MKB Ultra, they are playing with fire. Ed Renner, look at what this guy says. They better keep a lot of milk in the fridge and absolutely no cats in the house. Basically, that these guys are gonna eat their cats, right? Like they're Haitians or something. This other guy goes, they're very friendly until they're not. Troglodyte goes, if they are lucky, it will only be a black eye. Now, this is very interesting because if you go look at a lot of the videos of Polish people in the United Kingdom, Polish people were complaining about the same thing, how they were being treated in the UK. But here's what you got to understand as being blacks or Africans going to a lot of these Eastern European countries or living there and trying to integrate. If you're a black dude coming to Poznan, what people believe is you're there to sleep with white women, okay? They don't want you to do that. Let me be honest. In Kazakhstan, they don't want you doing that. You got to understand that they don't want you doing that. Just what it is. All right. Some people may be okay with it. Most and many of people are not okay with it. And then your kids also get treated. One of my best friends was married to a Polish lady. And, you know, some of the kids at the school call the little kids a monkey. So it all goes back to black people getting a hint and saying, hey, while we're trying to get everybody else to accept us, we need to accept ourselves. It's a problem that happens in Africa. It's a problem that happens in the African American community to a certain degree. You know, we're looking for the Democrats to accept us. Everybody, accept yourself. Start there. All right, guys. So what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Dude Jackson. Back with another episode of Fair Use. I'm out.